Welcome, celestial seekers. Ever wonder why your life is a mess? Blame the stars. They love the drama.
Let's dive into this. Today, we're unpacking some seriously fascinating source material that looks at a very specific and honestly often misunderstood relationship with money. We are talking about the financial psychology of the astrological sign of Cancer. Now, whether you just casually check your horoscope every now and then or you're a total nerd for behavioral finance, this material gives us an incredible look at how our internal feelings can literally hijack our bank accounts. We're going to explore how a Cancerian's emotional state completely dictates their wallet and how balancing that whole equation is absolutely crucial for their long-term security. So to really wrap our heads around what's happening here, we kind of have to throw out the traditional rulebook. For most people, or let's say in your standard Econ 101 class, money is just math, right? It's numbers in, numbers out, just a boring spreadsheet. But the text points out something super interesting. For Cancers, money is a profound sentimental attachment. It's an emotional connection. Think of it way less like a bank ledger and honestly more like a diary. When they look at their savings, they aren't just seeing purchasing power. They are seeing a safety net made of pure feeling. They need financial security on this deep soul level, and they desperately feel the need to have that money invested in something real, which actually brings us to the ultimate manifestation of this need. I bought a house. Just imagine the pure, glowing pride radiating from someone saying those exact words. According to our source material, this simple statement is profoundly characteristic of a Cancerian. Listen, this isn't just about real estate diversification or, building a neat little portfolio. No way. Buying a home is the ultimate characteristic dream of a Cancerian's life. It's the physical embodiment of the emotional safety they crave so much. When they say, I bought a house, what they are really saying is, I have finally built my sanctuary. And the way they get there is honestly incredibly disciplined. Step 1, they save money diligently for that specific goal. Just completely laser focused. Step 2, they achieve the dream and actually buy that home. And step 3, the payoff. From the moment they have that house, they feel absolutely secure. I love pointing this out because it highlights the deeply positive, beautiful side of their money habits. When a Cancer channels their emotional need into a tangible goal like a home, they are literally an unstoppable force of financial discipline. They build a literal fortress of absolute security for themselves. But as the source material warns us, there is a flip side to this deeply emotional connection to capital. Section 1. The generosity trap, when helping hurts your wallet. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive shift in perspective here, as we move away from the safety of the home and right into what the text identifies as a major financial danger zone. Just look at how wildly skewed these proportions are. That's exactly the problem Cancers run into. Because money is an emotional tool for them, it also serves as their primary way to help the people they love. The text notes that Cancers need to be very careful here because they go way beyond just lending a few bucks. They have a massive tendency to want to give gifts, like a lot of gifts. If a little money comes in, their first thought isn't, oh, I should put this in a high-yield savings account. No, their first thought is, I can make people happy with this money. And while that is incredibly sweet, before they even realize what's happened, they're entirely out of money. The desire to provide joy completely eclipses their own need for that tiny 15% slice of security. Which brings us to a little moment of empathetic tough love. On one side, we find the ultimate Cancerian urge, going into debt just so someone else doesn't have to. It's like they will literally set themselves on fire to keep someone else warm. But we have to balance that with the hard truth derived directly from the text. People will survive perfectly fine without your money. The source makes it crystal clear you are not obligated to financially support anyone. It makes absolutely zero logical sense to ruin your own financial standing and go into debt just to save someone else from their own financial responsibilities. Cancers intuitively know their own security is important, but they have to actively fight that urge to rescue everyone else at their own expense. Section 2. Mood-driven spending, the emotional roller coaster. So this deeply ingrained urge to rescue others, it's not the only emotional trigger. Because money is so directly tied to their feelings, a Cancerian's spending depends entirely on their current mood. Let's look at the two extremes. When a Cancer is thrilled and just having a great time, boom, we see happy spending. The wallet flies wide open. They want to amplify that joy by paying for everyone's drinks, buying all the meals, basically just spreading the wealth around. Conversely, when they're feeling down, depressed, or lonely, we see sad spending. They buy things simply to self-soothe. They're buying objects because they feel this deep internal need to make themselves feel better. The trap here? Whether they are at the absolute highest of highs or the lowest of lows, the result is exactly the same, an empty wallet. Let's zero in on that happy spending for a second, because the source provides this absolutely perfect quote. Come here, I'll pay for everything. I mean, you can just hear the joyous, vibrant energy in that, right? It's the sound of someone who just adores their friends and wants to create a magical, totally stress-free moment for everyone around them. And hey, it's a beautiful instinct. But as an explainer of financial habits, we have to recognize this as a massive leak in the boat. This instinct, driven by love and relationship dynamics, is exactly what puts their hard-earned security at risk. Section 3. The Capricorn Contrast, a Zodiac Reality Check. Let's move to this and see how it builds, because sometimes the absolute best way to understand a behavior is to look at its exact opposite. The text sets up this brilliant face-off between Cancer and Capricorn, with a super clear division of skills. On one side, you have Capricorn, who inherently knows exactly how to handle money. They're the strategists. On the other side, Cancer inherently knows exactly how to handle people. They are the nurturers. Now, knowing how to handle people is an incredible superpower, for sure, but the text explicitly warns that because Cancers are so incredibly focused on people and relationships, they are highly vulnerable to being taken advantage of. They really need to borrow just a little bit of that strategic Capricorn energy to protect themselves from people who might, exploit their generous nature. So the crucial point we can pull from the text is this. Money should just be a way for us to achieve happiness. That's it. For the Cancerian, money shouldn't be this source of constant stress, or a tool to buy affection, or a temporary band-aid for sadness. It is simply a tool, a means to an end. And that end is their own stable, secure, and grounded happiness, like finally buying that dream home we talked about right at the beginning. To actually get there, the source text leaves the Cancerian with what I like to call a loving warning. It's a direct address that we've broken down into 3 absolutely vital steps. First, keep your feet on the ground. Seriously, don't get swept away by the emotional highs and lows of the moment. Second, keep your eyes wide open. Be intensely aware of who you are dealing with, and make sure you aren't being taken advantage of by people who just want a free ride. And third, the unspoken foundation of the whole shebang, prioritize your own security first. You absolutely have to secure your own oxygen mask before helping others. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate takeaway of our entire explainer today. I really want to leave you with this final, vital question to ponder. Are you using your money to buy your own happiness, or are you just funding everyone else's?
That's all for now. And hey, if you choose not to subscribe, I won't take it personally. I'll just check my charts and assume Saturn is probably in a challenging position for you right now.